Hey folks, MACT back, and I've got a lot of questions about the tow haul on the edges, and I'm going to speak directly to the 2011 through 14, and this will probably cover the 2007 through 2010, as they're pretty much the same platform and everything else. But the number one way you can tell if you have tow haul on your edge is this. The number one way is you have no trailer hitch. Probably don't have tow haul, but that is not the final say in it. You also want to take and find another way to determine whether or not you have tow haul and if it is incorporated into your edge. Another way to determine it is look at your fan controller. If it only has one plug out going out, then you do not have towing. If it has two, then you have towing. So you'd look for two plugs if you have towing. Now it's pretty simple to tell. You open up this fuse box and it's located right next to the battery conveniently, and you just take and look, and you look at here. Fuse number 39 is a 60 amp fuse. That is not towing. That is 60 amps to run both fans. But if you had towing, you would have in position 39 a 40 amp fuse, and then in position 40 you would have another 40 amp fuse. So two 40 amp fuses. If you only have a 60, you do not have towing. If you have two 40s, you have towing. Now there's a few additional things that you need to know about when you're towing besides whether or not you got tow. If your trailer hitch is installed, and generally if it's a lower hitch, it probably is an aftermarket, but check underneath. If it says, you know, some other brand name, then it did not come with the vehicle. Now there's a possibility maybe they replaced it because of damage or something like that. But the key to it all is checking the fuses. If you have 160 amp fuse, then you do not have towing. Now with towing you get a little bit larger coolant capacity. I think it's like it's 11.3 quarts, and then it goes up to like 11.9 or something if you have towing. So maybe your radiator is just a slight bit larger in that aspect, and that would probably go in line with your transmission cooler that would be built into the condenser for the what is it? The 2011 through 14 Ford Edge. The previous models, 2007 through 2010, did have a transmission fluid cooler for towing, and they incorporated everything into the 2011 as one unit. But you do have the fans, and the fans run 80 amps essentially combined, so you do have a lot more oomph behind your fans than just running 60 amps for both. So you take that into mind. They probably turn in a smidge faster, trying to draw more air through there to keep things cool. So that goes to reason on that, why you have two 40 amp fuses. Other things that you should do while you're towing, and it's directly from the book, is that you shouldn't drive more than 70 miles per hour on that for when you're towing a trailer. And also turn off your speed control. Speed control is an issue. I always tell everybody this. Don't use your cruise control. You know, the main reason is little tiny hills. You might find you're downshifting a lot. And even Ford in the manual states, select a lower gear. On my Limited, I have that little plus and minus on the side of my shifter, and I can click it into manual mode, and then I can use the plus and minus to shift while I'm doing, which allows me to get more RPMs up before I hit the button to do the next shift. More RPMs just makes it easier, and it's easier to go back and change the oil and transmission fluid than it is to buy a new transmission. So yeah, you're going to use those fluids a lot harder, but hey, even Ford says that's severe service, so change out your transmission fluid much more frequently. And also your oil, I think they recommend 3,000 miles if you're towing. So you want to go with that as far as that's going. but they do highly recommend that you use a lower gear. So don't get on the interstate and think you're going to go in there, because like I said, if it's shifting up and down, hunting for gears, you're just burning up clutch plates. You're not going to get very far. So downshift, that way it doesn't have to hunt for gears. And once you find the right gear and the right speed, that's where you're at. And when you're going uphill or under heavy acceleration and it's really hot out, the engine will protect itself by shutting off the air conditioning. That's right. So if you're driving through Death Valley and trying to do 70, 80 mile an hour and the engine's lugging, hey, you're going to lose your AC. So be prepared for that. Going up mountains, hills, or anything like that is going to shut the AC off to provide more power and cooling to the engine, and shut that AC off because it's creating heat also. So it's just trying to cool itself. But into another one, they call recreational towing. So if you have an RV and you want to tow your Ford Edge 2011 through 2014, it's really simple. You don't have to have it a dolly, you don't have to put it on a trailer, you don't have to do anything like that. Front wheel drive, all you do is just flat tow it. Get the appropriate hitch. And I think they call them like Blue Ox or something. They're really good, secure. They provide power that goes to the car, and brakes, tail lights, everything else lights up. Do it properly. And if you're an RV owner, you probably know what I'm talking about. But you can flat tow a front wheel drive Ford Edge off the ground. And if you do tow it, do not tow it rear wheeled first, tow it front end first. In other words, if you are going to use a tow dolly, put the front transaxle on the dolly. Do not tow it in reverse. That's the only warning that they have there. But if you are towing with an all-wheel drive, there are a few caveats, and you can tow an all-wheel drive Ford Edge 2011 through 14, flat tow, all wheels on the ground behind an RV or camper or whatever you're doing. It's really simple, and again I say use like any one of the very most common RV owners know. I think they call them Blue Ox or something like that. They're tow bars made specifically to tow vehicles, and this is important because when you are towing a all-wheel drive vehicle and a front-wheel drive in this manner, you do want to have power going to the car, because here's what you got to do. One, you only tow it in the frontward direction, and that's all you're going to be doing with it, is going frontwards. You can back up on, if you have to, but we're talking highway speed. You also do not have the parking brake on. And then you must shift the transmission into neutral. That's right, it has to be in neutral. Then you place the ignition in accessory position so you have to have, so this is where I said power has to come in. You have to have power running to that edge to keep the battery charged, because you're going to be in accessory mode the whole time you're towing this all-wheel drive on the ground, or the front wheel drive for that matter. You need the power going to it, so it has to be in accessory mode, and you should not exceed they say 65 miles per hour. That's up to you. It's how fast you want to go. They're just giving you the limitations on that. Then you must start the engine and allow it to run for at least 5 minutes before you leave on your trip, and then you must run it at least 5 minutes for every fuel stop. Okay, now whether they're saying this is for the battery or just get the lubricating fluids going through the transmission and all-wheel drive system, I don't know. They're not telling you shift gears or anything like that, but you must run the engine for at least 5 minutes. So every time you fuel up, got to run the engine. Every time before you take off on the start of your trip, got to run the engine. Otherwise, that is it. That's pretty much as simple as it gets for your towing. So if you're going to go ahead and tow with your Edge, there, you know what fuses they are. You know how to tell if you got trailer towing from the manufacturer. And if you are going to flat tow it, now you know what the rules are as far as flat towing your 2011 through 14 Ford Edge. This is Mac T. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, share it, let everybody know what what you like, and of course help me out by viewing my video. You know, it's always great to have people view them, and it also helps fund the channel. So share them. That's all I'm asking. And it doesn't hurt if you click an ad, move my ad revenue up. But anyway, hey, Band of One's always got some great music. Mercy Girl's got a couple one-liners. And hey, my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. And who knows, there might be a cat video at the end of this. What's wrong, Tammy? Not happy with the newcomer? How you doing, Buttercup? What's wrong with you, huh? Not happy? Tammy? Yeah, you're not happy, are you?